and this is your notice. I would really like to have a police number from you also. And thank you very much for listening, and we would like you to look within the documents. If you need any further information, we can bring you the information so that you can look into more treason. You have it all, you know what's going on, and we thank you very much for your time today. Backed up the serving of Mark McGowan and Kim Beazley and all the treason evidence of all the perpetrators. This goes right back to 1517 when the parliamentary rewrites of the Magna Carta took place under the United Nations.
City of Perth, no more fear.
And that, folks, is the people speaking. Commonwealth law always prevails. All these fools in government and parliament that we elected telling us that we're not allowed to go to work because of taking a medical procedure. Commonwealth law always prevails. So police have now been served papers for a criminal investigation. They now have to look into it. People power. The people have spoken.
Push the bell. Without the accountability to the people or the law of the land, which is clearly and evidently not the case within the system of the service under constitutional law. Ask yourself, how can any institution, Parliament, which was created as a service to the people, be sovereign over them? Under constitutional law, the sovereign people of the realm, including the Commonwealth, are governed by laws and principles that they are happy to be governed by. All public servants are in service to the people by a sworn oath of office to a constitutional monarch. The principles of law are simple because they should be natural to us all. To cause no harm, no loss, and to remain peaceful while also honouring any agreements made with others as all that is demanded by law. All acts of Parliament created have not been granted royal assent by a constitutionally arranged monarch. Therefore, they cannot be laws at all. They are no more than rules. You have a sworn oath of office and duty of care to respond to this notice and to investigate all allegations of treason contained herein. We also recognise the difficult position that certain individuals find themselves in when the truth is realised, especially those of you serving within the office. We are growing in numbers by the day. We seek a common sense, peaceful remedy, asking you for your help in returning the judiciary to the rule of law and reasserting courts of law so that justice can be seen and done. There may come a time where you will have a choice to make, either to defend the criminally established administration or to protect and serve the people. We urge you to make the correct choice. Public document WorldCat OCLC number 31002821, translated in English to European Economic Community. The chapter heading of the Nazi document were replicated almost verbatim in the 1992 Maastricht Treaty. The English common laws applies to all sovereign living, breathing men and women, and dictates that we are all born free to do whatever we choose for ourselves, provided we do not cause harm, loss to another life, liberty or property, or their rights to life, liberty or property. England, within the United Kingdom of Britain and the whole entire Commonwealth, is a common law jurisdiction and provides the people with national sovereignty. The English Parliament has no lawful authority ever to breach, surrender land or transfer, even temporarily, the sovereignty of the people, except when conquered in open warfare. No man, woman, neither monarch nor prime minister nor any prelate, politician, judge or public servant is above common laws and and the customs of England and the Commonwealth, or the English Constitution. The evidence presented in the Foreign and the Commonwealth document FC 030-1048 files show that Heath's government of the 1970s was well aware that essential loss of national sovereignty would occur within 30 years with the passing of the European Communities Bill, and knew it would, and all likelihood be rejected if brought to the people, which of course it was not. Then it in itself is an act of sedition at common law by the Heath administration. The signing of the Nice Treaty in 2001 and the European Union Constitution in 2004 were further acts of high treason at common law by the Blair administration. In an attempt to further protect themselves against criminal prosecution, the Blair government removed the word sovereignty from the oath of office of constables in the Police Reform Act 2002, Section 83, and also modified the legislation to enable non-British nationals to become police officers, Section 82. There are acts of both sedition and treason at common law by the Blair administration. By misleading the Commonwealth and English people into voting to remain within or without of the treasonously established European Union under the guise of Brexit, which granted authority to Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty, which also allowing British Armed Forces to be under the control of European Union PESCO, for allowing United Nations troops onto the streets of the Commonwealth whilst continuing to usurp and deny the English Constitution, whilst creating rules in brackets, which lock down the people under false pretenses, i.e. COVID-19, and seek to create rules to test and inject the sovereign people against their will, whilst furthering the goals of the UN's Agenda 21-2030, are despicable acts of high treason at common law by the Johnson administration. Today's English constitutional law demands that we all stand in lawful dissent. It is our lawful duty to continue to distress those who refuse to stand under the terms and the conditions laid down under Article 61 of the 1215 Magna Carta, the Security Clause. The invocation of Article 61 stands to the day as the lawful position of the English Isles and the Commonwealth. All of the evidence referred to herein is a matter of public record. Furthermore, the fact that the Magna Carta 1215 has not been repealed nor annulled, despite what the imposters within Westminster may say, is further evidenced by the following quote, that it is terrible irony that as we celebrate Magna Carta, it is being undermined by an executive which pays lip service to the principles. If the legacy of the Magna Carta is to last another 800 years, it requires everyone with a sense of history and an understanding of the criminal importance of the rule of law to our society to stand up and fight for it. The liberties referred by this great document were hard won. We owe it to posterity to ensure that they are not lost in our time. We now affirm that all of the information herein is correct and true to the best of our collective knowledge, and that we the people have lawful excuse and lawful authority to make and enforce, if necessary, such demands on all public servants to act in accordance with our 1,000-year-old common law and customs. Whilst the police continue to ignore the truth in law, evidence, facts, and continue to aid and abet high treason instead of serving and protecting the people as they should be, we the people are increasingly duty-bound by law and consequence to put an end to the travesty in any other way that we can. We would of course prefer to use reason, logic and truth to defend the realm in a peaceful and lawful manner by bringing the guilty parties to justice within the properly convened courts of law, however, without the aid of these entrusted to enforce the law of the land. History has shown that when the English people and the people of the Commonwealth eventually stand up for their rights and freedoms, they are omnipotent. We shall, without malice, vexation, frivolity or ill will, and on penalty of perjury, signed International Practical Lawful Descent, Perth, Western Australia. Our movement is throughout the world, and this is your notice. I would really like to have a police number from you also. And thank you very much for listening, and we would like you to look within the documents. If you need any further information, we can bring you the information so that you can look into more treason. You have it all, you know what's going on, and we thank you very much for your time today.
People power!
Keep it quiet, keep it nice, and we would just like to hope that the police will look into the evidence, look into what's going on in the world. We all have family, we all have a future, and we all know what's going on is wrong. So we need to now make a decision where we're going to be, and you know, you have a duty to really step up, and we want you to step up and share that around right throughout the entire force. If you would please, thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, you were in the front. Good. You're right. Talk later.
You're a disgrace, mate.
Shut down. Sorry. It's in our interest to. We don't want to hold people up from going about their daily life like we've been held up about going around our daily life. We found a coffee shop that'll service.
Oh, where's that? Where?
So come and talk to us if you want to know where it is. Anyway, that was all. I just wanted to say about the lockdown, but it turns out it might be fake news. Watch the media, see what's going on. Thank you. Thank you everyone for coming. We've got to do this every day in bigger and bigger and bigger numbers. We must get up off our backsides, get our feet down here in front of the government. Because liking and sharing stuff online isn't doing it. You think it's protest on the weekend, you've got this all every day of the week. You can, it's a vigil. I like to call it a vigil, which is another name for something else. But this is our Berlin Wall. This is our Berlin Wall right here. That brought down the USSR. We've just got to bring down Beasley and McGowan. Keep turning up. Thank you so much. Really, from the bottom of my heart. It's amazing to see the crowd here today.